Hello, I'm Sandy Crandall and I'm Mark Crandall's mom.
My name is John Musica. I'm a licensed mental health therapist at Lifestream Behavioral Center.
My name is Cyan and I'm 14 years old.
And I met Dr. Crandall at Park Place Behavioral Center in Kissimmee.
I've been seeing Dr. Mark for 4 years.
I met Dr. Crandall back in 2008 when I was an intern coming out of Barry University in Orlando, Florida.
If I had to describe Dr. Mark, well, I like to call him my bald friend because he's bald. So I would describe him because of his head. So it's all bald and stuff.
My dream job as a child was to play baseball for the New York Mets. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. Then I wanted to play quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and that didn't pan out as well.
When Mark was a child, there was nothing that showed me that I thought he would go into this field.
I didn't know that I really wanted to get into the field of mental health until I was probably in my early 20s.
He was always business-minded. We owned cocktail lounges and restaurants, and he was doing inventory for us at 13 years old.
I saw a lot of suffering in the world, and it just didn't feel right to me. And I'm like, there's got to be a way for me to try to make a difference and maybe try to help those who are in need. I primarily wanted to focus working with children because that's where I found that the dire need was. The difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist is basically a psychiatrist is the person who prescribes meds. A psychologist will primarily do talk therapy, have various techniques to try to help with various diagnoses, and also do types of psychological testing as well. My view on medication is I'm not a tremendous proponent of medication unless it's ultimately necessary. I don't like giving medication to adults, let alone especially children.
I hate to see children on medication. However, I have personally witnessed, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 kids in the last 3 years who could not function in society without their medication.
I find that medication is primarily necessary if a child suffers from ADHD and they have a hard time focusing and it helps them academically in the classroom. But I would rather have a child or an adult work through their problems rather than just be medicated.
There are a lot of kids who are taking ADHD medication who really don't need to be on ADHD medication.
To me, giving medication to somebody is like putting a Band-Aid on a wound that really needs stitches. We need to get to the bottom of what's causing the problem. I think that too many parents are too lenient with their children. Children have access to guns, weapons, knives more easier than ever before.
Just recently, in the last month, all the schools that I go and work at have now locked all of their doors. 30 years ago, when I went to school, I went to a school and everything was open. Now you go to a school, everything is locked down.
They've had special safety alarms now that have to be done, like fire drill type things in case there is an intruder. Children are panicked about it. I've dealt with many different problems after the Sandy Hook Elementary situation. I had over a dozen children at least that were frightened and worried, is their school going to get shut up next? Children I work with have been affected by the terrorist attacks. I think it's definitely caused an increase in anxiety. And it's a shame. It's normally something I don't see in elementary school age children to an extreme, and it has been the case though. I was working with a child fairly recently and a fire drill alarm went off and the child almost wanted to run underneath the desk. That's never occurred before. The most rewarding part of my job is definitely seeing change. Sometimes it doesn't happen overnight and you don't see change. Kind of like watching your child grow up. You don't normally see that child grow up, but someone who hasn't seen your child in 5 years, like, gosh, look how big that person's gotten.
I think that I'm more open now, like more open to talk more. I'm not as shy as I was.
Being in the field of mental health definitely can impact me in many ways because I am taking on the stressors of 45 different people every single week. And again, unfortunately, that does take its toll after a while.
Dr. Mark has helped me through a lot, like just emotionally and advice.
I think that everyone could probably benefit from having someone to talk to. I don't think that I'm at the point yet where I would need some kind of psychiatric help, thank God. Hopefully I won't get to that point ever, although everyone does have their breaking point, I think.
Yeah, I think kids can benefit from it because there's a lot of stuff inside that they don't want to get out, but if they have someone to talk to, I guess they could get it out more and be more open.
My son was born 1 week before I started my doctoral program, and my daughter was only 8 years old.
The sacrifices that he had made when he was going to school was the hours, the same thing. It's always hours and time that he put in traveling back and forth many, many miles to school, maybe traveling 2 hours each way and back, and he didn't have time at all for his family.
And I missed so much of both of them growing up, and it was difficult. I normally get up about 4:30, 5 o'clock each day, get ready, leave the house, have to make 2 cups of coffee, one for the long drive to my office, which is over an hour away. And I normally see anywhere between 6 to 8 clients during the day.
I know he loves what he does. He could work 10, 12 hours, 14 hours a day. He'll just keep going and going.
Knowing what I know now and the impact that I have made on many different lives throughout the course of my journey, I would definitely stay in the field that I'm in right now. I feel that this was what God had put me on this earth to do right now.